So we're in the city of Espanola, New Mexico today, October 8th, 2024, at a city council meeting. They created a new policy stating in order to speak for public comment, you need to put in your full name, your physical address, and if you're a resident of the city of Espanola. Those little things are just a way to keep track of who speaks for public comment. I have always signed in with just my name, and I left the other stuff blank without mentioning the address or anything like that.
So you kind of get a price estimate of what that would cost to put the infrastructure in. Yeah. Did you get that?
Yes. So I came to challenge that.
Oh, no, they've people in them. The ones at the church, they've had people in them for months. Oh, no, they have. Yeah, they've had people.
Thank you guys for popping in. Appreciate it, guys. So I'm here to challenge the city of Espanola with this.
I've got veterans that won't go in because they want to stay on the government, they've had enough government with certain religions. So there are all kinds of reasons that you don't think about. No. But it is.
Soapsy James, Scrubzilla, Richard Phillips, Pig Farmer. Thanks. The Rata gang. No, bro. The Rata has 2 T's in it, bro. And Nazi, I mean, China does only have 1 N, but in the Rata gang, there's 2. 2 T's. 2 T's. The meeting starts at 6. I'm a little early.
Without any ties, no, at least that I talk to so many. They don't want the responsibility, they don't want to be on the grid, they don't want to have to pay in, they don't want to. But it's mental health.
You're the chairman of the meeting. So we need some work on that.
That's one of the reasons I looked at 501c3 status active is because
This is the agenda.
for us to do a whole lot of stuff with it, because there's only like 8 of us. But I do.
What's up, guys? Thank you guys for joining in. Appreciate it, guys. Brandon Mitchell, No Name Coder, Polo, San Antonio. Thank you, guys.
Well, I told John in one, that's one of the reasons.
This is the budget for Bradley Mitchell. Thank you guys for joining. Sorry. No, bro. Sochi has two, bro. Has two of them. Thank you guys for popping in. Appreciate it.
I think there's one like everywhere, but
Was there one there?
so also you and our lobbyist for the city.
Sorry, guys. I had to clean the camera. It's a little foggy. Thank you guys for joining in, popping in.
Like this, the nursing home, we're still lacking in, so we're looking. But you don't know that.
What kind of nursing home?
She was gonna bring it.
Still, we have still nursing home.
Sign machine.
See that girl in the black? We call her Ursula. That one, the one in the black, with black hair, we call her Ursula. From the Little Mermaid, or Hippo. Whichever one.
He's from Las Cruces or El Paso.
No, Ursula. Appreciate you guys coming in. This guy came in to challenge a new policy they have for public comment. They like to violate people's civil rights. They don't like to fill IPA requests on certain individuals.
They didn't have any work yet. They have to go to Santa Fe. And Santa Fe, the road is so
She's all feisty.
Yeah, no, it's something that I was really passionate about too. I keep telling them like I do those things with the architects and stuff. You know, our.
She's a little feisty one. Hi. How are you, senor? Good. Hi. A lot of people here don't like me because I cuss them out. And they get all afraid, they get all scared when I redress my government and profanity.
I don't know, we're gonna hope, and we're gonna try and keep it low cost until we have
They don't like to be criticized. They get offended. They don't like to be criticized. They like to get their ass kissed. That's what I say, Bradley Mitchell. If you guys haven't been on one of my lives here at the city council meeting, he'll trip out. He'll trip out how it goes down. You'll see. James is on a big mission. James isn't here today. He's on a big mission.
Oh, MAMs at Espanola and in Baco.
We break ground January 25th, and hopefully by the end of the year.
Thank you guys for popping in. We're still early. 5 till 6, so. For the new people that are in here, I was told that they created a new policy in order to speak for public comment here at the city of Espanola for their council meetings. If you want to speak for public comment, you have to fill out the whole entire form before you can speak. So I don't really do that. I just use my first name. But you know how government works. Government sucks. Support your local businesses. Wherever you guys are at, support your local businesses. Yes, sir. That is true, though. Rata gang's in here. Thank you guys for popping in.
I come bearing gifts.
What did you
Oh, no,
bring?
this is first.
How do you do this?
Same way you use the other one.
But the other one was. Let me see. Take your time. I got the microphone, so I want to try it out and see how it works, guys. So,
Almost playing with your coppers. He's got his head out the window. Okay, that goes in there. And then you have two of
and that's green. That means it's on.
should be.
Can you hear me, guys? Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me? Clear? Is it clear? Cool. Yeah. Oh, where did you put this other one at?
I didn't, I just. Although you could probably put it over here. You could probably put it on this side, because you know where it's so quiet.
I don't know if you guys can hear me or not, but I hope you guys can. Mr. Ledoux, how are you, sir? Are we good on volume? Is volume good?
There's John Wick. What's up, Wiki? Okay, got you. Yeah, if they put the paper on. Okay, I'll put you up if they put it on. You're welcome.
Comes the counseling. The counselors are coming in. Is that better? Does that work better? Bro, don't call me fat, bro. How you call me fat, bro? Everything good? Very good. So good. Everything good. Here for the holidays. Let's see. Hey, that's my homie, dog. That's my homie, dog. You better be careful, bro. That's my homie. Hot stuff. I just came to challenge their Isabella. I just came to challenge their public comment speaking thing. You had to fill out a whole form. Yeah, you had to put your entire information on the in the sign-in sheet in order to speak for public comment. Thank you guys for coming in. I appreciate you guys for stopping in.
What's that again? 3X. I think they have 22.
For free, right? I'm a city councilor, bro. You gotta hook it up. You gotta hook me up, dog. I'm a city council, bro. I'm an elected official, bro. That's that guy in the white shirt. He's assistant fire chief or deputy fire chief. You see this guy right here in this suit, the bald-headed guy with a little bit of hair. I don't know if you guys ever seen The Simpsons. We call that guy Mr. Burns. Mr. Burns from The Simpsons. This guy right here. And that lady that just walked in, that's Miss Piggy right there. Her name is Peggy Sue. That's James's favorite. That's Mr. Freeman's favorite person right there. I ain't bring the voodoo piggy, bro. I forgot the voodoo piggy. I was running a little late and I ain't bring it, bro. But I'll be sporting it tomorrow. Yeah, that's Peggy Sue, that lady back there. That's James's favorite person. No nicknames, bro. Nothing. No nicknames at all. No, for me. She's a cook. That one right there in the red. See, this is a new city clerk. Watch. This lady in the red right here. No. Wow, that lady in the red right there. She's a new city clerk for Espanola. She's the one that did the policy of having everybody sign in fully. We represent the Rata here. The Rata has 2 T's, brother. The Rata gang. The main leader clashed with Bao. Buddy Bao. See that one back there with the glasses right there? That's Miss Piggy. That's James's favorite person. James likes that lady. James likes her a lot. Yes, you got that right, Isabella. Thank you guys for popping in. I don't know if
You're not doing her job.
Oh, this Ursula, this chick in the black right here, Ursula, this girl right here in the back, this one, that one, she gets all kinds of money for nothing. She's a social services director trying to help out the homeless, the less fortunate people, but she doesn't do shit. She's a fat bitch.
She lies. She got her hand. She got her phone with vaccines. Everybody I talk to is serious.
See this cunt right here, this cunt right here? She's a bitch. Hope you guys can hear us clear. We got new microphones, so hopefully it's clear for you guys. And put this on the record. So what do you want to do? This lady here stating that I need to fill this whole thing out, and if I don't fill it out, she won't let me to speak for public comment. She will not let me speak for public comment if I don't fill this out. She's violating my Fourth Amendment right. Charles, this lady's not allowing me to speak for public comment because she wants me to. Charles, this lady here, she's not gonna allow me to speak for public comment if I don't fill this out. If you're gonna do that, I'll get in contact with Blair, and I'll get in contact with Zach, and letting them know that she's violating the Fourth Amendment right, which I can only put that. I don't want to put my address or the phone number. She wants me to, and I don't have to. It's in violation of my Fourth Amendment right. Yes, it is. It's the Constitution. It's the Constitution. Yes, it is.
We'll deal with it.
Okay. So here I signed in.
Thank you.
Sorry, Brenda.
Hello?
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for accommodating us. And tonight was formal portraits for the governing body, the directors and such tonight. So we're running a few minutes behind coming from the convento. Thank you for joining us. Tonight is the first regular meeting of the month for the month of October of the Espanola City Council. Dios te bendiga. Thank you for coming. Would you please, the time is 6:10. Would you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for bringing us together this evening, Lord, to do your work in our community. May the Holy Spirit enlighten every one of us to do your will, and allow us to be instruments for your direction and guidance in this world, this community, Lord. Oftentimes we go through trials and tribulations and such. I applaud everyone that sits on this governing body for the trials and tribulations that they go through on a daily basis. Lord, bring peace to them, bring patience to them, and bring understanding to them for them and their families that give up the ultimate sacrifice to dedicate their time to our community. In your heavenly name, amen. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I think everyone's here. We don't have anyone on Zoom tonight, correct? That's, yeah. But can you do the roll?
Mayor Pro Tem Peggy Sue Martinez, honored to be with you all. Councilor Pedro Valdez,
Here.
Councilor Justin Salazar Torres,
Present.
Councilor Felicia Perez Toya, present. Councilor Daniel Rodriguez, present. Councilor Samuel Ledoux,
Here.
Councilor Denise Benavides,
Excused.
Councilor Erwin Salazar.
Present.
7-1, we have a quorum.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Moving on, members of the body, you have the agenda for you for tonight. Motion to approve the agenda as presented, Councilor Pedro Valdez, second by Councilor Nanette Rodriguez. Is there any discussion regarding the agenda tonight? Under discussion, Councilor Ledoux?
Yes, I made a couple of corrections to the minutes on the.
We're not there yet, Councilor. We're still on approval of the agenda, but, so what we'll do when we get to consent, we can pull from there and then we can adopt individually.
Okay.
Thank you. Is there any other discussion about tonight's agenda? There being none, so we can do it now, we can do a voice vote because there's no one online. All in favor of the agenda signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Same sign indicating nay. Thank you. Good evening with the consent agenda now. The consent agenda has the special city council meeting minutes for August 7th, 2024. City council meeting minutes for August 27th, 2024. And the city council meeting minutes for September 10th, 2024.
I'm gonna motion, Mayor, to remove item A off the consent agenda so that we can, hear the corrections that Councilor Ledoux requested. So, B and C will remain on the consent, and then we'll listen to the changes that Councilor Ledoux has requested.
Second.
Motion made by Mayor Pro Tem Peggy Sue Martinez to remove item A from the consent agenda item, the special city council meeting minutes, second by Councilor Justin Salazar Torres, and there's no discussion on consent agenda. There's a motion and a second on the floor. Is all in favor of this motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Same sign indicating nay. Okay, that means that the city council meetings for August 27th and September 10th are all approved. Going now into special city council meeting minutes for August 7th, 2024. I'm going to defer to Councilor Ledoux.
Yes, Mayor, I wanted to just reflect on the record that, a change to the vote on the unhoused, unsheltered committee. I voted yes on that one. And then I worked with, the stenographer to help her, so she couldn't hear my vote explanation on that day, basically stating that I voted against, the appointments because there was no one from the district that was appointed.
Motion to adopt as amended, please.
I was just gonna say, Mr. Mayor, the changes have been made and they're with the clerk now, but they do not match what's in your packet, so that's why we had to keep this.
Okay, so I'm gonna entertain a motion this evening to amend tonight's minutes from that city council meeting from August 7th.
Yes, just approve as amended.
And so I haven't confirmed, was there a motion made by the applicant? Okay, motion to amend the city council meeting minutes with the record reflecting what Councilor Ledoux has just stated. Is there a second? Second, Councilor Justin Saisa Torres. Any further discussion? There being none, all in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Same sign indicating nay. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Elizabeth, and thank you, Councilor Liddy, for catching up. And the record will be reflected and the adopted minutes will be correct.
Yes, sir.
Public comment. Public comment is limited this evening. Ms. Carla Ann Martinez.
Claudio Chacon?
Thank you for allowing us to speak tonight.
Mr. Chacon, can you come and have a seat there?
Surely.
And is the thing on?
It's not. Mr. Chacon, let me just turn this on
All right.
for you. There you go. You just speak into that as much.
All right, thank you.
There you go, sir.
Mayor and city council members, thank you for allowing us to be here this evening. My name is Claudio Chacon. I'm the secretary for the Acequia de los Vigiles, along with the treasurer, Donna Salazar. And the reason we're here tonight is we'd like to establish contact with the city in order to better maintain the ditches, the Vigil ditch. There's a lot of issues that we're facing with the ditch, and I think we need support from the city as a parciante. And there's property values, water rights at stake here, and I think it's an exceedingly important opportunity for the city to cooperate with the Acequia and solve some problems that we're facing. And so if it'd be possible, whether it be a liaison or a subcommittee or whatever it is, we'd like to see that that's followed through.
For the record, we can't engage, but Mr. Chacon, please get a hold of Mr. Lujan, the city manager, right here, and he will get you in contact with Public Works. Did you just become the mayordomo of the Acequia?
At present, we don't have a mayordomo, an acting mayordomo and secretary, so my hands are full. There's a lot of work to do on the ditch and it requires a lot of effort. Yeah.
Used to be Vernon McCall, and we had a good contact with Vernon. And then Virgil Hill was also too.
Correct. Yeah, and you're probably descendants from that family of
No,
Vigiles.
I'm actually
No?
not.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Somos Salazar, but I know them all. All right.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chacon.
Thank you for your time.
Madam Clerk?
Bethany B?
Good evening. So there's a few things that I wanted to mention. One of them I actually had to text the chief about. I'm sure those of you who are on Facebook saw my post of a deceased animal sitting in front of the church right next to the Denny's. If it wasn't for my husband passing by on his way to work, I wouldn't have even known that dog was there. It was a puppy, and it sat there for hours on the side of the road on Riverside Drive with invisibility of officers passing by. I found out that the dispatch was called multiple times, and apparently they said that there's nothing that they can do. Jacob, who's the regular animal control officer, was off that day, but there is another animal control, or whatever he's classified as, Rick. Why nobody bothered going and picking up this deceased animal off Riverside Drive on the sidewalk is beyond me. I had to go out there and pick this dog up. Now, if I have to keep going out there to pick up deceased animals, I should start charging the city for my service, because my service costs $50 for me to go pick up from somebody's house. My service also costs for me to cremate a pet. So if I'm gonna have to start doing this because officers will not, I will start sending the city a bill. Also, I know that I had given Michelle information to help get the homeless pets vaccines, because they are just as important as the homeless people that have them. From my knowledge, nobody at the shelter has been contacted or reached out to, and I think it's very important that you get a partnership with them, and it's been well over 3 months that I shared that information.
Good afternoon, Mayor, City Councilors, Mayor Pro Tem, CM, listening public. I just want to thank everybody. John Wickersham, Assistant Fire Chief, City of Espanola. I want to thank everybody for showing up Saturday for our Fire Prevention Day at Lowe's Home Improvement. We gave out probably 40 to 50 smoke detectors to families in need, plus swag and stuff for the kids. It was a really cool event. We had the Classic Air Medical was there with their helicopter. We had Santa Clara, we had La Mesilla, Santa Clara, Chamita, a few other departments. It was a really cool event. And I also wanted to bring up the shirts that we're selling. It's October, it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. This is a tradition that we've been, I think for the last 14 years that we've been selling t-shirts. It's a tradition that I'm really proud of. Our president couldn't be here, Alex Wazo. He's at a softball game, but he's been in the schools the last 2 days. He was in Fairview Elementary teaching fire prevention the last 2 days, all day. And then tonight he had a softball game, so we let him off the hook tonight. But he wanted me to show you guys the breast cancer shirts this year. They're $25. The proceeds go back to the community, to anybody that's currently going through, that has cancer and going through treatment. We give you $1,000 and they can spend it on whatever they need, gas to get to treatment, bills, whatever they need. Usually we typically raise about $4,000, and it's for people that we pick through the community that has cancer to give back to. So this is a really cool event. We have t-shirts for sale. They have them at the fire station, or you can get a hold of Alex Suazo, or you can go to the Union page as well, Facebook, and contact us there. So I just want to thank everybody, and if you guys have any questions, just let us know. Thank you. And I want to thank the mayor and the city councilors that were there, and I know everybody else. Thank you.
Mr. Fourth Amendment, Stephen.
Okay. Carla, because you like to be a dumb bitch, we're gonna educate you real fast, okay? You can cite all you want. In the Constitution, when you're sworn in to be the city council of the city, you swear to uphold the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the state of New Mexico, okay? That means you're supposed to uphold the rights of these citizens. You can't do what you want. Everyone here already knows what's going on. Guys, each and every single one of you swore to uphold the Constitution. You can mumble all you want back there behind the computer. Yeah, you, Carla. But that being said, hell yeah, there's an echo and I like it. Eric, we need to have a discussion, buddy. There's a lot of stuff. People are coming from Santa Fe. I want me to expose you, but it's too damaging to do that. Peggy, I don't know how in the world you can have a little salon on your property without noticing the city to build it back when you did. It's pretty crazy. John, he can hear another weirdo, bro. He can't take accountability, so you have to point fingers at other people. For example, for me to use profanity, that's called redressing my government. That's also protected under the First Amendment of the Constitution. You don't like it, you can go fuck yourself, bro. Each and every single one. Yeah, La Verga's right, bro. I can hear you, bro. I can hear you. That's my right. I can readjust however the fuck I want. That being said, fuck you, Eric. Fuck you, Peggy. And fuck you, John.
Jeannie, you didn't have to sign in to speak, or you just came to bring? Counselor comments. Counselor Justice Torres.
Thank you, Mayor. This last week, I just want to give a little shout out to our Sun Devil cheerleaders. They had a competition in Milwaukee, and Tiny Tots, I believe, got first. The middle division, they got fourth place, so a little shout out to them. They really kicked butt out there. And then also just want to give constituents and so forth. I've been told that they've been trying to get a hold of me via cell phone, et cetera, but they're leaving voicemails and stuff like that, and clarify the numbers were wrong, so whatever numbers that were given were wrong. But my cell phone number is 505-927-4299. That again is 505-927-4299. That way they have a direct contact, of course, they always with their constituents. But I also want to share, thank you to the executive staff, Mr. Khan, yourself, Mayor, and some of your directors yesterday. Mr. Ortega from District 4 invited me over to his home. We sat down on his porch and we were just watching traffic and watching the concerns that he actually had with the district and so forth. And I told him, Mr. Ortega, in all government work, no matter where you're at, it's always government work. Things take time and it's really horrible. But I said, let's make a call now. We'll get people on the horn, get people on the phone, and that way you know that we actually pass messages on, because we always tell our constituents that we've sent emails, and we've done our diligence. But Mayor answered, Esperanza answered, city manager, and we all had a nice discussion over the phone. And he was just so relieved that we were actually able to get a listening ear and know that something will potentially happen. So just want to let our constituency know that always invite, I'm always more than willing to go have a sat and a nice little conversation and listen to the issues. Not every issue can be resolved overnight or within a year at times, but we're always here to help. So thank you guys, huge kudos for that, and I think that is it, thank you.
Also, you do.
I would also like to say that Mr. Ortega did come and contact me and my coffee with the counselor I have at McDonald's. I have a meeting every Saturday, and we went over it in quite great detail as well. And you know, I went to a Fairview basketball game the other day, and the speeding on that road was getting really out of control. We really need to figure out what to do on McCurdy Road. I know that part is not our responsibility, but what McCurdy is. We gotta figure out a way to reduce the speed over there. I also want to thank the EPS employees in the city that got together and had a Hispanic Heritage Month event on the plaza. It was really nice, and we got to see and hear a lot of interesting things from all the surrounding community schools. And I want to also thank John Kershaw for his event at Lowe's. That was really awesome too. I had a lot of compliments from people about that. I also want to thank Chris Archuleta. He heard about my comments about the Space Force flag, and he was able to get one. And apparently, I could have helped put him in contact with Kirkland Air Force Base, and maybe we'll get a more solid, like long-term flag that we can donate to the city. I also want to, recognize that there was a tragedy in our community as well with the passing of a young man at Espanola Valley High School. I was able to go to the viewing, and DHS is going through a tough time right now with the threats that happened, as well as this young man's death. So and also keep the things, all the natural disasters going on at your heart right now, because it could happen to us. That's why I really pushed, that we develop an emergency management plan, maybe get together with Rio Rico and Okia. I know that they're working on one with FEMA right now, and figure out a way to do some preventative measures. Last thing we ever want is to be in that type of situation, get caught off guard. So I hope we can get someone to work with Rick over there at Rio Rico and the folks at Okia. We get to see so we can join them. Developing that plan. And then, I also want to recognize that it's the anniversary of October 7th, birthday attacks in Israel, and keeping the Jewish people in our hearts. Thank you.
Carla, I just got a message from Tomas. Can you resend the link for Teresa? I guess they got booted out. I'm gonna get back to you. Yeah, put the base in the
Mayor, I want to recognize the efforts of the fire department and the police department concerning the one accident that was in town after our last meeting. That meeting got out of here about 9:30, just after work all day, 3 o'clock in the morning till 5. At 6 o'clock, they were in the meeting. We got out of here about 9:15. They left here about that time. About 9:45, they got dispatched to a horrible accident. They weren't able to save one of the victims, but they stayed at the site, organizing and running the site until 4 o'clock in the morning, 4:30 in the morning. And then most of them were back at work at 8 o'clock in the morning. That's very, very good commitment to our community. One of the people that was at that site was a Navy SEAL. And he mentioned to the fire department that they had never seen anything so organized and done so professionally. We did have mutual aid come from the Rocky Fire Department. We had some mutual aid come from the Alamos Fire Department, the Espanola Police Department, of course. They were amazing. And I just really want to thank you guys for the efforts that you guys made. Quite obvious that you saved one of those kids' life. His life will be altered forever because of this accident, but he's alive and doing very well because of the efforts of these, public safety departments, and we definitely want to recognize you guys for that. Also, thank you again too for the fire thing that you guys have in here.
Got in James's face the last time James was in Espanola. Lieutenant Yazzie.
God forbid that disease comes anymore to our community, but when it is here, you guys have always been there to help the most need, and I appreciate that. I do have a concern about the flag that Desert Storm Memorial Church and the lighting there. The lighting seems to have been messed up, so I don't know if you can look into that. The flag has been hanging. I think it got blown up on the pole and it sort of caught on the top, but it's already tattered anyway, so it probably didn't be replaced. Yeah, so that can be looked at. Also, I'm interested in, we did do the MS co-op 1% for lighting. I think it's important that we really start looking at the darkest areas in our communities and start to light them up. I would recommend that every counselor go out in their district and maybe pick 2 or 3 spots that we see are the darkest areas and see if we can't get those priorities to city manager to see if we can get some lighting going in our districts. There's funding for it, and I really think it's important. As we all know, evil lurks in the darkness, and the more light we have in this community, the safer it will be. There's some good things coming with public safety. As you all know, the training center has the madness has begun in that construction. We're very, very proud of it. I'll make comments to the fire department so they can just give a brief update as to where we're at.
Can we do that during the manager report?
Sure. No problem. Okay, no problem.
We'll yield to the staff during the manager report.
Thank you.
Councilor Rodriguez.
Good evening, everyone. First, I'd like to thank DC Worker Sham and Chief Martinez for the incredible work that you guys continue to do. I don't know when you sleep, because you are doing everything that you can possibly do for this community, and you are everywhere. So thank you for your dedication and your time. I think the other thing that I wanted to recognize is everyone who's sitting next to me and down the row. And I want to say thank you for the hard work and dedication that you do. I'm honored to sit here with you. It's difficult for us to be up here and receive some unkind comments sometimes, but we rise above that. So I want to thank each one of you individually for your hard work, for your dedication to our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor.
Mayor Pro Tem Basic.
At our last special meeting, I recognized Nanette Bustos, but she's in house tonight. Valerio, I'm so sorry. We talked about the art fair that she took by the horns. There's two other people that are in house tonight that,
I'm gonna yield the floor to him for matters from the mayor.
okay, there's two other people in house tonight that also should be recognized, but he's going to yield the floor during matters from the mayor. But it's worthy to note that without the efforts of you three, that art fair doesn't happen. And it's very critical to our people, it's very critical to our community, and it's very critical to our culture that we continue this tradition. And I'm very proud that you guys are able to put that together. It's not easy, and it took a lot of effort and energy. And I just really want to appreciate you for it. Thank you.
Councilor Rodriguez.
Just a brief follow-up on what the mayor pro tem said about lighting is very vital that we tackle this issue, especially as students are going to get picked up from school. I know for a long time, with the light at the end of my road is out, my friend would have us to get it put back on. But Eliana in general needs more lighting. So I'll work with Councilor Salazar quarterly to try to figure out the best places. Those recommendations are good.
The councilors have comment this evening. Moving on, matters from the mayor, I just had a couple things. I wanted to thank the council for the passage of that MMDOT acceptance of that grant for La Jolla. We're moving forward with doing that. 160,000 isn't gonna go as far as we'd like it to do, but we're looking at to see with being improvising with the contractor to see what we can do. I'm really excited about that. I know the managers talked with the councilors that represent District 1 and 2 about Coronado Avenue. That's another roadway that we're hoping to tackle, get repaved. That's the major arterial road for the west side, and La Jolla Street, other than North McCurdy, is the major arterial road on the east side of the river that actually belongs to the city of Espanola and our jurisdictions. I want to applaud all the work that Elijah and Eric have been doing on that aspect. I wanted to take this time to recognize Miss Lou Baker and Kata Bennett. They're going to come up and talk about the Arts Festival. They wanted to just take a few moments.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor Hill and Honorable Councilors. It's a pleasure to be here with you tonight. It's actually an honor. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Lou Baker, and with me is Miss Kata Bennett. And we are here today to thank you very much for your support, your vote to be a co-sponsor for the Espanola Valley Arts Festival. I would like to start with a special thank you to Councilor Manny Martinez. For years, his leadership shepherded the Espanola Valley Arts Festival, And unfortunately, he's just going through a really hard time right now. Please keep him in your hearts and your prayers, and if you get a chance, just call him and tell him that you're thinking about him. I'm very grateful for the opportunity and the coaching that he gave me. I stepped in at the 11th hour, and there was actually some discussion not to have the festival this year because we just were not ready for it. But with all the help of all the volunteers, Mr. Adams, Ms. Nanette Valerio, the city, I mean, everybody just really stepped up to the plate at the last minute, and we did it. And so there's a special thank you to Councilor Manny Martinez, to Ms. Carol Ann, to Mr. Mike Adams, to Mr. Frank Sterling. For those of you who don't know Mr. Frank Sterling, he lives in the neighborhood, and he came to us, and he provided security overnight so that the artists could leave their canopies erected and set up so they could. Some of these artists are my age, seniors, and so it's really difficult for them to take them down and re-erect them in the morning. So a special shout out to Mr. Frank Sterling. I would like to thank Ms. Nanette Valerio. She really shepherded us, and she was there. She opened the bathrooms. She answered questions. She made sure the place was clean, that we took care of our responsibilities of keeping the property clean and the mission. But more importantly, I would like to thank all of the artists. That's the intent of the Espanola Valley Arts Festival, is to promote local artists, to encourage them and give them an opportunity to showcase their talent. The talent that we have in our community is beyond belief. The things that people make, the creativity. Unfortunately, I wasn't blessed with that kind of talent, but it's just amazing to see these artists. We're looking forward to next year. September of 2025 will be the Espanola Valley Arts Festival 40th festival. So it's been around for a while, and we're really going to start planning and getting ready and fundraising so that we can have a festival that is going to be one of the best. So with that, I would like to thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, councilors, for the use of the plaza, for the use of the Mission Convento, for the polycarts, for the bathrooms, for the police officers that showed up and provided security. We want to thank you for that. That's a lot of in-kind donation, and we want to thank you. I would like to let you know that Ms. Kata Bennett took the initiative, and she distributed an exit survey. I thought it was very clever, and on Sunday she went from booth to booth and asked each artist to respond to an exit survey, and every single artist, I believe there were 24 responses, were grateful, thankful that we had the arts festival, and they were looking forward to participate next year. So with that, what I would like to do is, with Ms. Kata Bennett, is present to you tonight one of the official Espanola Valley Arts Festival poster. It's signed by the artist, and it's numbered by the artist. And so, sure, and with that, I would like to yield to Ms. Bennett.
So not only once did we think about not having this because we were so far behind, we had such a little amount of time, but at least 3 times. We almost tossed it all in. But we thought it was really more important to keep it going because it was the 39th year. And being there for the first time next year, I want it all filmed. It was incredible to see these kids receive ribbons, first, second, and third place ribbons, to see the art that they had done, to realize that there was no way we could tell how much we'd been influencing, how much we were influencing this future generation. So I think it's really important to have this. And next year we'll be more prepared. We'll be a lot more prepared.
Thank you very much. And with that, Honorable Mayor, may I approach the council? About you, Kate? This side? Yeah. Okay, so, city, Ms. Nana,
Go ahead, watch it.
Thank you very much, Honorable Mayor and Honorable Councilors, for the time that you yielded. And I apologize if I exceeded my 3 minutes, but I just think that this was really important. And there's just a lot of people to thank, and like Ms. Kata said, these kids, I completely forgot about the children, they got their ribbons.
Gentlemen, we're not being respectful of the speaker up before right now.
And when they received their ribbons, they were just so proud with their little first place ribbons, and little boys walking around with their ribbons. And it just made me feel so proud that we encourage them to continue with their art. Thank you very much. Good night.
Thank you.
That's the first time I heard you do that. That's the first time I heard you.
I also wanted to thank the Arts Festival for the hard work they did. We recognized them at the special meeting, but this isn't on the radio. I wanted to thank all the city council, the staff, and especially the fire department for an excellent job at the Centennial Breakfast 2 weeks ago. What a wonderful celebration to kick off our Centennial. We fundraised, I believe we raised over $4,000, correct? Raised over $4,000. Want to thank the business community for all their generous silent auction items for us to get together and support our community and fundraise to host a wonderful Centennial celebration next year for 100 years of Espanola as an incorporated government. I want to thank all the council that showed up to participate, but I really want to give a big shout out to the fire department for the excellent job they did in cooking the food. I mean, we were just little worker bees doing whatever we were supposed to, but had Johnny and Mr. Leroy Durant not taken over the kitchen, I don't know what we would have done. Yeah, we'd still be there making, and those pancakes were good, folks. I mean, there were people that tried to sell the tickets $10, and they said, what are you gonna eat in town for $10 of eggs, sausage, pancakes, and juice and coffee? And no tip, and good service, yeah.
Great service and no.
But it was a great celebration for all of us to have and celebrate. So I just wanted to thank everyone who participated in that. There was so much going on that weekend. We also had the Crucero Center. We had the boxing, Iron Fist Boxing Club had a wonderful event. Councilor Nadine, Councilor Ledoux went. So we had a great time there. Just great opportunities for our community to get together and enjoy. And that was jam-packed weekend, of course, with the Arts Festival. Big shout out to all the hard workers of the Arts Festival. So thank you, Ms. Baker. Moving on, I wanted to recognize this evening, I have a proposal I would like to make for the committee. During our goal building discussion, one of the counselors brought up the idea about we need to work on promoting our community in a positive light. And one of the things is working on the great work we're doing here at the city that benefits our citizens, the great work our fire department's doing, the great work our PD, all of our city staff, whether it's, this is the hardest thing to explain to individuals is you have two staff in field operations, not including the director, that are out there handling the weeds and maintenance for all city facilities, the medians, every pretty much piece of our community. And, our staff is not big and they work in various departments. Water helps out wastewater. Wastewater helps out in parks sometimes. Everyone comes together at the city of Espanola And so these are great stories that we start capturing and sharing with others. And especially too, we're working very hand in hand. Thank you. Oh, Kata already walked out of the door, but serves on the Lodgers Tax Board as well as Mr. Tomas Garcia that's on the radio right now. Promoting our community, we've taken some initiatives and approved for some marketing aspects. The Lodgers Tax has been working on, but we really need to be working on promoting our valley, a positive impact in the work we're doing, and just how this is a great place to live and work, play. Everyone that sits on this governing body grew up here in this valley, and all of us grew up here in this community, and our families grew up here in this valley. And so this is, at the end of the day, this is our only home. And it's very important to us. So this evening, I'm
Just talking
proposing the
about public
appointment
relation.
and
Community.
formulation of a public relations committee to oversee and guide these efforts. And the proposed members of the committee, I am proposing Councilor Felicia Archuleta Toya to serve as chair, Councilor Pedro Valdez, Chief Deputy
That's his
Clerk
money
Diana
maker.
Padilla,
Foolish Archuleta. That's his
Executive
money maker.
Administrator Esperanza Trujillo.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve, Councilor Justice Salazar Torres, second by Councilor Aaron Salazar. Is there any discussion?
That's how foolish I got
I
it.
want to appreciate Miss Councilor Archuleta Toya for stepping up to the plate to do this. She has a lot of good ideas, and we look forward to seeing what you can do there. A second, under discussion, Councilor Ledoux.
I'm gonna support this because I think it's very vital to the city. We need to promote more positive stories.
Hell no.
I do think that I think it's important that we start putting appointments out prior to the meeting and on the website. And that's my only concern. Thank you.
Councilor Lopez.
Just to start with, there's gonna be an advertisement tomorrow, so on the grievance stuff, so you'll see the first pictures of things going on here in Espanola. Things will be coming every other week. What Espanola is doing. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilor. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Look forward to that. We trust you well from within the council, Councilor Archuleta Toya, Councilor Valdez.
I'm about to
There's a
open
motion
some
to
can
second
of
on
worms
the
with
floor.
Felicia.
All in favor, motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Same sign indicating nay. Thank you. Moving on, city manager report. I'm gonna allow Mr. Duran go with his discussions, and then we'll have Mayor Pro Tem's request at the end of this.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem, Council. Before I turn the remainder, most of my time to Finance Director April Moya, I just want to recognize, as we're going out, recognize a lot of people in our community. I want to recognize Ms. Barbara Serna, the owner of Alicia's Jewelry Store here in downtown. She's been doing business for over 30 years. Last Friday, the mayor and I were invited to attend an event honoring Mrs. Serna, the Lifetime Achievement Award. It's named after Speaker of the House, Ted Duran, and his wife, Carmen. And then the Carmen Duran Awards, presented by their son, U.S. Senator Ray Duran. And I just want to say congratulations, Barbara, for listening. I know the mayor took his bold test to get shine. So I know, Mayor, you extended that to her. But if she's listening, she's a devoted listener, Teresa. If you're listening, Barbara, congratulations. And it was well deserved, well earned work. 50 years of dedication to the Democratic Party is one of Mexico. So congratulations, Barbara. And Mayor, I'll turn real quick to report from Chief Martinez.
Now we're gonna talk about money that's missing. There's missing money. There's money missing from the budget. Yeah, CPA. They're gonna find the discrepancies.
Good evening, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, councilors, city manager. Just a quick update. So we poured about 60 yards of concrete Monday. So they're letting that dry. They're gonna be out there again tomorrow. And I think probably Thursday or Friday, they're gonna pour again. They got a huge section done. They probably need to do about 2/3 more to get the foundation or the pad complete. So they poured 60 yards, that's 5 trucks, on Monday. So they're letting that cure, and then they'll pour some more on Thursday or Friday. And the hydrants are in, the shade structure, they poured that concrete as well. We need to move the connex, and they'll start the roof on the shade structure. Hopefully next week. I think the tin for that's gonna come in on Monday, they said. So they'll start that on Monday and get the shade structure done. And then they'll start pouring more concrete, and hopefully we'll be done here in probably the next 3 to 4 weeks.
And the structure itself,
So last time I talked to them, they said January, and then I called them about 2 weeks ago, and they said November. So I'm hoping that they're gonna come back in November, be here, but I'm not gonna hold my breath. So anywhere from November to January. So I'm thinking that we're gonna be complete by January, February. So, yep, so November, hopefully they show up in November, and it shouldn't take too long to put that Connex containers together and build. I'm thinking a month at the most, 3 weeks to get that complete. So as soon as they get here, they'll start constructing that and erecting that, and hopefully we'll be done. So I'm hoping January, February. It's moving fast.
Bunch of text messages.
Before I
There's a
turn
bunch of
over
text
to
messages
regarding
passing
the
by.
finance, I wanted to also take this time, I forgot to mention under matters from the mayor, I wanted to recognize, we're gonna have a special meeting of the city council on Friday at 4 o'clock to adopt the RFP, the hiring of the new city attorney contract. So I wanted to take this time actually tonight to thank Mr. Rennick. This will be probably his last meeting here with us. That RFP closed yesterday and today, and so we're gonna be moving forward. We appreciate you, Mr. Rennick. I know you announced your retirement in June, and we're so grateful for you hanging on for the last month, and so grateful for you and the service you've done for the city for the last 2 years. Thank you, Mr. Rennick. We really appreciate you, your years of experience at Los Alamos County, Puerto Ricoso, city of Las Vegas, and we have a cap for you.
By tax dollars. The tax dollars. The taxpayers pay for those. Did everybody sign it?
I just wanted to get that out of the way because we do need a quorum to adopt for a city attorney, and so that'll be on Friday at 4 o'clock.
Friday at 4. I'll be here.
Moving on, Mr. Lujan.
Thank you, Mayor, Pro Tem, councilors. I'd like to turn it over to Finance Director Maria Moya.
There we
With
go.
her this evening,
There we
Mayor.
go. Let's see, all the money's missing.
We have
Let's see what legal.
already introduced also our project manager.
There's some loopholes. We're gonna work on this one. This one we're gonna work on.
She'll
We're gonna
hold
work
that
on
this
this one right
morning.
here. This one right here. Pull this arch with the fire. We're gonna work on her.
Someone,
We're gonna expose her. She's gonna be on a buddy list.
Good evening, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, Councilor, City Manager, Public. Thank you for joining us tonight. As your Finance Director, I'm pleased to introduce the CPA firm CLA, who we have contracted to assist with our financial cleanup as we prepare to submit the FY23 and FY24 audits. We have been working diligently to address and resolve the past issues in the financials to get the city financials back on track. Joining us via Zoom, as City Manager said, is Raul Anaya. He's a principal with CLA, who will provide a detailed overview of what CLA has done for the city since they began their work with us in July. In your package, you'll find a breakdown of the contracts that were so far through our latest billing. Additionally, we're joined by Mr. Robert Gonzalez, principal of Cordova CPA LLC, who handled our FY22 audit, and he will be handling our FY23 audit, as well as Mr. Robert Apodaca, who is right behind me. He is the CEO of the RMA Advisory Group. As Mr. City Manager said, Mr. Apodaca has been working with us on, on special projects. He brings extensive knowledge of the city's financial past and has been working closely with the city, my department in specific, along with our interactions with Department of Finance. All three individuals along my department have been collaborating on various financial projects, including cleanups, audits, and special initiatives. Mr. Anaya will be presenting shortly to provide an update on CLA's progress, but we are all here to answer any questions that you may have before or after his presentation. So without further ado, I will turn it over to Mr. Anaya from CLA to provide an update on their work to date, unless there's any questions before we get started. Oh, I was just.
We're gonna do a discussion at the end.
Okay, sounds good. Raul, are you on the Zoom link? I think you are.
Hello, Mayor, members of City Council. As April mentioned, my name is Raul and I am a principal at Clifton Marshall. I'm also a CPA licensed in the state of New Mexico. And I'm here to provide a brief update of our progress so far and answer any questions that you might have. So when we were initially engaged, it was brought to our attention that the current city finance staff wasn't around for the June 30th, 22 audit. So one of the first things that we looked at was to make sure that the balances from the June 30th, 22 audit from the audit report that Mr. Gonzalez for Urban Associates produced agreed to the beginning balance in Casell for the city of Espanola. And through that, we identified that there was numerous errors and that the beginning balances didn't roll forward. We entered approximately $43 million of entries to get those beginning balances to roll forward from 6/30/22 to 7/1/22. In addition, as of 6/30/23, we rolled forward all fund balances from the prior audit. We completed all cash recons for June 30th, 2023. That includes Century Bank, New Mexico Finance Authority, the Bank of Albuquerque, and an Express Bill Pay. During our review of Express Bill Pay, which the city uses as a third party to collect money, we identified approximately $3 million that was sitting in an account that belonged to the city of Espanola, but that hadn't been transferred over. So we worked with the city to make sure that was transferred over to the city's operating cash to make sure that it was being used properly and to start accruing potential interest. In addition, we completed all debt reports for the year. We completed revenue recognition for the gross receipts tax, interest rate revenue, and we completed reconciliations for investments, utilities, AR, cash, and accounts receivable. As part of our process, we implemented reconciliations and processes and have had trainings with your staff to make sure on a go-forward basis the items that we created reconciliations for are continued so that the city doesn't fall behind in the future. In addition, we've been working with the external auditor to form a timeline for the upcoming audit. We are currently on track to produce all related client provided by client listings on behalf of the city of Espanola to the auditors by the end of the month. And then we're working with the auditors to schedule the audit after those have been provided. I will let Robert Gonzalez speak to the timing of that. In addition to the audit prep, we've also worked with April and her team. The city has a requirement to report cash to the New Mexico Department of Finance and Administration. During review of some of those cash reports that were submitted to the New Mexico Department of Finance and Administration, we noticed large differences in those. There's approximately a $7 million difference in what was reported to DFA to what was actually held by the city. So we're working with the city to remedy those and correct those to make sure that the state has the correct cash reports on a go-forward basis. And that is a summary. I don't know, Mr. Gonzalez, if you wanted to share anything from the audit timeline.
Yeah, as it relates to the audit summary for 2023, once the city asserts to us all the provided by client listing recommendation or requirements, we'll go ahead and take a look at that. Sometimes there's some reconciliation that goes back between us and the city, which would include CLA this year. Once we get that tied down and we believe that, okay, hey, we're ready to go, we have a final trial balance, you guys have submitted everything to us, we will go ahead and schedule some preliminary procedures and then move on to the full-blown audit. Again, I don't really want to speak to a timeline yet. A lot of times that takes, a couple of weeks, to do that original reconciliation process, to ensure that, everything ties, everything's good. So I would imagine preliminary procedure will probably start, mid to end November, flowing into December, and then of course, depending on the hurdles that our firm comes to, we'll try and get the audit done as fast as we can.
Thank you, Raul. Thank you, Robert. I believe that concludes CLA's presentation. A little update with what Robert Gonzalez, our audit firm, was able to give an update on. I also have Robert Apodaca here for any questions for his background with. Is it off? Oh, I'm sorry. I'll start again. Am I okay? Okay. And Robert Apodaca is here for questions as well. I'm sorry, I hit my microphone off. Apologies for that. So we all stand for questions if you have any. I know this was presented somewhat a little shorter length to the finance committee. And then based off the last city council meeting, was requested that they come and give a progress of where they're at. So that's what was presented today. We also brought in the auditor for any questions that he can answer, and Robert Apodaca from his DFA.
So I want to caution the council regarding any questions you may have. The auditor may refuse to answer those. You can't disclose any of this until the exit audit. And so, hold a minute. So once that question is asked, he may say, I'm not going to comment on that. So just so you all are aware of this.
So there's a finance charge listed that says will be assessed 1.5 monthly and 15% annually. That finance charge is that the city of Espanola is in arrears with that company and we're not paying them on a regular basis. What is that about?
I'm not sure what you're talking about. Hold on. Which page are you on?
Look on the bill, on the billing, anything that looks like this.
Mm-hmm.
It's an invoice, it's a general invoice, not the page that has the breakdown. It's page prior to the breakdown.
Yeah, let me get my packet.
I can answer
Yeah,
that
I was gonna.
question.
Go ahead, Rob.
Our invoices create standard language. I can work to remove those in the future. We do not charge the city any finance charges.
Good. All right, thank you.
Councilor Duke.
Yes, I know that it was stated that you don't want to give a timeline because of anticipated obstacles that you may run into. Can you give an example of what some of those obstacles may be?
Well, of course, with Clifton Larson Allen involved, we're not anticipating any. However, in the past, examples could be the trial balance wasn't balanced, aging reports don't tie to the trial balance, any other additional subledgers don't tie to the trial balance, the bank reconciliations do not reconcile, stuff like that. Those are the types of hurdles that, are really killers for an audit when it comes to efficiency. So one of the things that we definitely don't want to do is start the audit, start the procedures, find out that there's issues, do a halt on the audit, and throw it back to the city to try and remedy those issues. So those are some types of hurdles that we could come across.
Okay. And I know in the finance committee, there was a brief estimate of when the audit may be completed. I think, if I remember correctly, it was like January this week.
So, yeah, correct. So I think Robert just spoke about that, or maybe Raul did. The goal is to have all the delivers over to the auditor by the end of the month. I believe we're looking at a timeframe of November, correct, Raul? Correct me if I'm wrong.
From
And
an
then,
audit preparedness standpoint, we believe the city will be ready for an audit starting
and,
beginning of November.
and where the auditor was speaking, Robert, was there's a time frame from the time that we submit the deliverables to the auditor where they have to do their work before they give an opinion and it's sent over to the Office of State Auditors. The time frame I gave last time was November. Hopefully that we'd be done through the Office of State Auditor by January, because that was the kind of the time frame I did with the FY22, and then we'd be done with the FY24 by March. That's our goal right now.
Thank you, Mayor. I guess just to put it on the radar is, my understanding was there's some allocations that can't be released until the audit is closed. So is there any extensions that we need to apply for? For example, I know there was stuff for like Architos Park, things like that, that we did have like 750,000 approximately, already released to us, but then some that came with the 2023 audit that's still on hold until we close out. Is there any extensions that we may need to apply for, so for these allocations?
I don't think so at this point. They were just allocated. They haven't been dispersed. They won't be dispersed until after we pay for them and we're reimbursed for them. I'll keep a close eye on them, but for the most part, they're pretty new, so not at this point.
I'm getting direct these numbers. CDDG, PQRS, that we've had in production, those that is all, we've always given extension and stuff like that, so I just want to make sure.
We'll give Rob.
But thank you, just.
Mayor, Council, good afternoon. My name is Robert Apodaca, and I'm be contracted with the city that can help on some of the projects. Councilman, with respect to that, I'll be working with staff and also with your lobbyists to identify any of those projects that, if any of them need to be reauthorized, we'll work on that during the upcoming legislative session. So.
Thank you for your support, continued support.
Thank you, April.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Dang, nobody has other questions because they're scared. Dang.
I may be stuck up here, well, let's see.
Social Services Department presentation, Ms. Michelle Ferrer, Social Services Director.
I want to hear from this one. Let's see what the HIPPO has to say. Let's see what Ursula has to say. Let's see what the HIPPO has to talk about.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem. Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem, City Manager, Council. I do have a bit of a report and update from my department. Would you like for me to do the report first and then go over the request for the budget afterwards, or how does that? Okay, so as of recently, scope of work has been sent over to the DFA for the award amount of $53,000 for the transitional house that is located here in Espanola, which is the old Chamber of Commerce. The only thing that's holding us up at this point is just a couple of pieces of furniture and to get that information over to the insurance company to ensure that there are the least liabilities possible with this house. In order to establish the least liability on my end through case management and social services, I have also included adult protective services, the ombudsman, aging and long-term services, CYFD, and all of the state affiliates that would be using this transitional home to provide case management services for the individual in need. I have also spoken to the attorney's office as well, and they are so far agreed on all of the services that will be provided for that home. There's also new collaborations and partnerships. As of recent, I have added on, and I can go through each and every one, but I know that you all have a list of the collaborators that I'm working with. Most recently is going to be Molina Healthcare. That one is going to be a real big one as well, because they will be providing additional services to my department to be able to provide services much more quickly to the community. And by that I mean in a technological sense. They'll be providing equipment not only to my social services department, but also to some of the collaborators I'm working with. This equipment would be kiosks to make sure that individuals who need to apply for Medicaid or the like of that kind of insurance, they're able to do that. So it's gonna open a lot of opportunities and possibilities for a lot of our clients that I'm working with. They're also working with me to work a little bit closer on telehealth because that seems to be one of the barriers that we have. So that's definitely in the works as well. Recently, I attended a dual diagnosis summit. In accordance with that, my program closely mirrors the dual diagnosis program that they offer for the state, so that is on track, and I can provide more updates for that. Also, for the update for Mi Casita, that's what I was saying earlier. All we need is just a bit of furniture for that to make sure that we get that on board. And then also the opioid update for the allotted uses, and I was told that I'd have to wait later for that to present more of an update on that, so. No, I have one more. I'm also working closely with a supportive housing who allots the usage of CCSS and CPSW workers that are here. These individuals is Pequot Valley's counseling. They do work with me closely. I work with them. They have offered housing for a majority of our individuals that are here in the city of Espanola. And as of current, there's been about 12 individuals who are successfully in this program. And it's absolutely amazing. It's flourishing, and we're working on a lot of programs together and applying for more grants to kind of ensure that they succeed in the community.
So the reason why this got put on this agenda is many of you have had questions and discussion. This is a very talked about discussion topic in our community regarding the unhoused, unsheltered population in our community. So we placed this on tonight's agenda for all of you to have the opportunity to actually interact with Michelle and see what's going on, what's on the ground, and how she's working with these individuals and specifically these providers and stuff. So this is an open opportunity for all of you to have that access to Michelle and get some information of what's going on to relay back to your constituents. Councilor Ledoux.
So I noticed that there was a lot of really good partners. What are some of the projects that you've already accomplished since the partnerships have been
Absolutely. So one of those projects would be with Molina Healthcare to bring those kiosks and the items here to the city. Another would be with Lana Foundation. We are working on a city collaborative with them, which means I'm able to expand my services to apply for more grant funding so that we can provide that back to the community, not only for the unhoused, but for the seniors and the youth. So it's a huge regional collaborative with them as well. Another big one would be a project that I'm currently working on with OK Owingate and Santa Clara Pueblo. What I've decided is that once a month, as directors, we would reach out, we would participate in a specific part of the city. So for example, the city of Espanola would be the premise of this. These directors would come from their region and provide direct outreach to the entire city for a few hours at a time. And safely, we would do that by making sure that our volunteers are safe, that we're safe, and that we have either local law enforcement or first responders on base, so that we can, produce necessary items for them and make sure that we're all safe all around. And if someone needs to be medically cleared, we can do that as well. Another program would be the house that I'm working on, obviously. Also, I'm working on a digital profile for the governor's office to bring pallet homes to the city of Espanola, along with a digital profile to bring a detox center to the city as well.
Yeah, I have a follow-up. Is there any, is there any efforts for drug prevention, specifically at the youth level?
Absolutely, yes. So I have worked very close with the Ministerial Alliance. There are some individuals, I can probably not say their names, but if you guys need them, I can get that for you for the council. I have worked with the Espanola Valley High School to go in and talk to a lot of these individuals. And when I speak to them, they ask me the questions of, well, what is fentanyl? What is this? What does it look like? What is vape? So a lot of those things that they have in question or that they're afraid to ask, they're able to ask me through text, right? So it's anonymous when they text me. So that's one thing I've been able to elaborate with these kids because they're super smart. They're amazing. Through that program, I've also spoken to human resources to get an internship program to have these kids volunteer. And I've had about 5 or 6 who have reached out to me already. Absolutely amazing. They're ready to go. I'm also working with it's a Latina female scholarship program to get a majority of these kids to go to the Roundhouse in Santa Fe. There's a summit that's coming up, and a lot of these kids that we have, I mean, I'm telling you, there is so much talent here. Another thing as well, I'm working with Espanola Public Schools, and I can't remember his name, but I know he's a director. He reached out to me on Saturday when I was there for the Arts Festival, the Idioma. And when we spoke, we were talking about collaborating and going to the Roundhouse in Santa Fe to talk about our language, our culture, our diversity, and kind of have little breakout sessions that we can talk to the kids about. So that's something I'm working on as well. So there's a lot of little projects that are happening, but I'm also making sure that I'm ensuring that I'm staying grounded because I also need to create policies and procedures for my department. So when I do have individuals that can work with me, we have a set of policies that we can all follow and ensure that the work is doing, correct.
And I'm glad to hear that you're working on trying to update some of this stuff as well, because I think a lot
Hell
of
yeah.
information that's available about these drugs out there is woefully outdated. There's really nothing about fentanyl that students have access to know about the dangers.
That's right. And I'm also working with the Department of Health as well to do a harm reduction as well. So at the end of the month, they will provide training to myself and the collaborators that I'm working with because I want to ensure that there is a gathering of individuals, right? So that we as all collaborators are able to be trained correctly. We all have the information that we need. They've all volunteered to work as well, and the Department of Health is happy about that. So we'll have those harm reduction kits and training for the public as well.
And just one last thing, on the Public Works Committee, I had asked, the Parks Department if we could get data on how much those, sharps containers in the parks are being used. I don't know if that would be a project that y'all would be interested in, but I think that would be some use for that.
I think that would be great. I know that with the allotted uses, there's a lot of funding for that, but I do know that we have to, I don't want to essentially start a whole bunch of projects and have everything come down. So I'd like to make sure that I have a solid foundation first, and then anything that comes in with that, that would be great to take an interest in as well.
Thank you, Mayor. In regards to, you mentioned telephones, detox center and stuff like that. One that's concerning. I mean, it's great for all this. I guess the only thing that I'm asking is if we reached out to other towns and villages and so forth that do have these available, and to see what issues that they've had, what resources that they've needed, lessons learned from it, and then also partnerships in the sense of when Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham was here, there was an individual that spoke on an idea in partnership with other states, other cities, because even when Darren's place came before the governing body, a lot of folks came to give testimony, and they said that their loved ones went to a rehab, went to a detox, went to something, but out of state, out of the town that they were from. So I'm saying in the sense partnerships to say, hey, we'll take your folks, you take ours, because you're taking these people out of where they get their next connect, now their next fix. And granted, they're probably going to find it somewhere else, but to help them out in making these partnerships. But I'm more about the lessons learned, what these towns and cities and stuff have learned from whether from trying to provide so much. Because one of the things that I've also heard is a municipality, a city can very sustain itself, much less try to sustain something else, and then we end up falling and crippling something else. So I'm just curious if there's lessons learned out there, what you've developed.
Absolutely. So I not only work with Rio Arriba County, but Santa Fe, Sandoval, Bernalillo, Las Cruces, all of the adjoining counties. And what we have done is ultimately, a lot of these residents are already being shared throughout the state and the city. So in my department, if I am working with an individual, Albuquerque will reach out to me. Santa Fe will reach out to me, or I will reach out to them. So in this type of field, there will be a sense of individuals who will be shared regardless of the situation. So it's not that they'll just stay in one area, they can, but a lot of my residents or clients that I have worked with have gone to Santa Fe or Albuquerque or California, Los Angeles, because that's where they choose to go. Because my method in my department is least restrictive environment possible. Now, in regards to the pallet homes, it's gonna be a hot topic for a long time. I know that Santa Fe, because I do work with Santa Fe County and the city of Santa Fe. So working with the governor's office as well, I have asked, what's working, what's not working. And any kind of situation you're gonna find, not everybody's gonna wanna go to a pellet home. Not everybody's gonna wanna have a voucher. Not everybody's gonna have that taken together because they continue to have co-occurring disorders. So at this moment, what I have done with my department is I'm working with what I have. Pecos Valley Counseling has just moved in. We've done an MOU and we're currently working on an open contract at this moment. They are supportive community living. And this supportive community living, they have spaces that are available with individuals who have their own room, their own CPSW, their own medically assisted treatments. Now, it's not the same for everybody, but there has been a lot of people who have come through those doors who are getting help. So what happens is to work with that partnership, they go to that kind of house and then they take off to another area. They decide if they want to go to Albuquerque, they can definitely go. This partnership that I've created has their own transportation as well. So it's not like it's just dependent and left on the city and that it's, it's regardless what's gonna happen, we're gonna have an unhoused population regardless, whether it's here, Santa Fe, Albuquerque, wherever else. I do also know that another partnership is with Presbyterian. I am working with the CEO and Dr. Ketchum with Presbyterian. So what happens is I'm ensuring that a safe discharge is set in place before our individuals leave the hospital. So by that, I'm reducing the population that's going over to a skilled nursing facility. Then they get discharged and then they go back to the homeless population. So instead, what I've decided to do is I'm that middleman and I say, okay, well, this individual is ready to discharge, but I also need a PT and OT evaluation to ensure that they can care for themselves. Once they're discharged, we can take that over and then I will ensure that they get the rest of the home health care or whatever it is that they need because I do have the experience with that. So I'm trying to reduce the amount of people that are transferred from the hospital and dumped into another area because there is such a thing as a dumped facility and that happens all the time. So with those partnerships and collaborations, we're working on that. But absolutely, pallet homes, they're not the answer to everything, but they are definitely making a dent in the areas that they're serving. But that also is accountability, right? So those resources that I have here and the individuals that I'm working with, they specialize in every single field that they work in. I'm not here to reinvent the wheel. That's too much hard work. I'm not going to take that out of the city and put that in someone else when I can utilize what we have and give that back to our community. So my job is to make sure that I'm using what we have and we're serving the people of our community.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you for the opportunity for this sort of exchange and so forth. Thank you.
Councilor Ledoux? Speaking of long-term viability of pallet homes, I know and feel that we have to provide housing for individuals that were suffering from, becoming homeless because of disasters. And we have a very standard, strict type of trailer that we would distribute to those victims. Is there a standard for pallet homes? Has this industry existed long enough that we know a sturdy, reliable product that we can look into? Because that's one of my chief concerns, because the disaster recovery world, it took a long time to get to that point. I don't know if the social services will caught up to that point with pallets.
So what I'm understanding is we wanted to ensure that before we utilize funds to purchase these homes, that they're gonna last long enough to take care of our community. So nothing that I have done in my department has been done without research. I have reached out because I know that I have a small amount of funds that I can utilize, but I don't dwell on that. What I do is I reach out I partner up with nonprofit agencies to ensure that I can apply for grants to continue funding. Now, in that kind of sense, I have done multiple research on different areas for different pallet homes. And this right now is one of the homes I'm working on, and I have another digital form that I like to work on as well. But I'm putting it together as though I already have the village set up so that I can understand what do I need to continue doing and how do I need to fulfill the other areas that are working on. So right now, the test of time, a majority of those pallet homes, they've provided, and I can get that for you as well, the materials that they utilize. Now, one of the reasons I like this agency or company, I guess we'd say, or corporation, is because the individuals who work for them are CPSWs. These are individuals who have been homeless themselves. I like to work with agencies like this because I like to understand the perspective from their perspective. These people will come out here, they will talk to us, they will talk to our unhoused population, and they will provide those services as well. So there's multiple opportunities that are available, but I can get you information on materials if you need that.
Councilor Rodriguez.
Hi. Thank you.
Can you give us your vision? Can't hear what you're saying. Can you give us your vision on the transitional housing?
Absolutely. So the transitional housing is to serve the community itself. In my years of experience, which is going on 16 years now, whenever I was able to come across an individual, I always found them in the middle. They weren't here, they weren't there, they were just kind of on the edge of, they're gonna be homeless next week and there's nothing else we can do, but they still have an open case. So as an investigator, you have to find them and figure that out, right? So in my perspective, from what I have seen, if I can utilize a building that we have and bring those providers to that individual, there's really nothing that can go wrong from that. Because there's so many co-occurring issues, even if it's a CYFD case, there's so much going on that the family can participate in, right? They may not have a vehicle. Something that may be close to us to drive into Santa Fe is very not likely for these individuals. So what I'd like to do is create a safe space that feels like a home, which is why I called it Mi Casita. This safe home has a bit of furniture, you know, I'm working with what I have. I have not once utilized any of the opioid settlement funds. This has all been, what can I do and what can I obtain for the department? And the resources alone, they have donated and other people have donated, but that's besides the point. So in this home, it'll be half part of the house, the other half is the provider area. So we can allow these individuals to feel safe and to walk into like a conference room of their own. They can hold their own meetings, they're responsible for their own future. I would like to ensure, and as we all know, I do not enable in my department. I make sure that any resources that people would like, I offer those resources and I will help as much as possible. But the reason for this home is to become self-sustaining. They can call Adult Protective Services and have an IDT meeting, we can all come in and we can talk. So too many times I've seen when a case is open, that person is lost within the paperwork and the case number, and they're not a person anymore. Now their ID number, NM, whatever it is. I don't want that to happen anymore. I want them to have a voice, to have their own space, and to say, I would like to call a meeting because now I've applied for a job, and this is what I'm doing. So it gives them back a sense of personality and ownership, and just that they can accomplish anything. And it's not perfect now, but I'm working on it. I'm working with what we have, and I think it'll be great.
Thank you for sharing your vision. I think it's really important, because you are right. People get lost in all the mix.
Absolutely.
They don't know where to go, what to do, who to see, who to call. They're given loads of information and they're not able to cognitively go through that information and say, okay, I need to contact A, B, and C, and then I'll do, just on down the road.
And I want to get them to that point where they're comfortable enough to say, okay, now I'm ready to talk to my investigator for this case, and now I want in-home support services or however that works.
Well, and bringing the resources to them in this transitional home is going to be phenomenal. So thank you. Please let me know how I can donate to help.
A bed, I need a bed, I need furniture. I think a queen clean would be okay, or a full. Right now, I'd like to start off with one individual, and I made sure that when I spoke to the city attorney's office that, and like you all know, I do research before I do anything, and I am avoiding the anti-donation clause, and I'm making sure that I keep it fair and equal to everyone in the community. So I do have applications that will be followed, I do have, lease agreement and all this stuff, and ultimately, one of my end goals is, once an individual at this point is transitioned over to their own permanent housing and they start working, we hold that money for them. Once they leave, that money can go to save as a direct deposit or a security deposit or something that goes back to them. So it's gonna teach them a whole bunch of stuff.
They're leasing.
Thank you. Do you know, Mayor, when Shelton will be getting out the new department?
Right now.
If the council approves that later tonight, it's actually on her list of requests.
I just am in awe of your commitment, your energy, your care, your heart, your ability to take an idea and run it through all those collaborators and have people have a buy-in to want to be involved in this process. That's so critical to the future of what happens in this situation. Without those collaborators, the city is nothing. We can't do it by ourselves. We need each and every one of those people. I think it's very important to recognize that you're having conversations with the two fellows that are.
Oh, it's amazing.
That are our bordering neighbors. I feel like the ocean problem is not a problem. It's not a problem that is going to be lying in the border and be raising people whatsoever.
That's right.
So I feel like they have been affected just like we've been affected, and maybe even more tonight, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But just know that you're doing a tremendous service for this community, and you do it with such grace and just a peacefulness about you that is incredible.
Thank you. And I am happy to announce, that a lot of the housing applications I have done have already been approved. And the individuals I'm working with are on waiting lists, so that's big. I mean, that's like huge. They are waiting for their homes. They have vouchers that they can utilize, and they will be housed. So.
Anyone else have any discussion regarding this? I want to thank you, Michelle, for the hard work you're doing. One of the things, and this is why I talked to Mr. Rennick and we got approval here, was we have obviously a serious crisis regarding substance abuse in the house and shelter population. And unfortunately, a small city such as ours, the manager, the police chief, the fire chief, public works, it impacts them in all angles and aspects. And unfortunately, the time that they're spending trying to deal with these little fires, for lack of better terms, and sometimes literally, we have now someone dedicated to actually being out there in the community to work on this. And I'm really grateful for the work that the Department of Social Services is doing. I actually was talking with the municipal board meeting on Friday. The town of Silver City got money from opioid settlement, and so they're actually going to be following in our direction towards creating their Department of Social Services. And so they're really excited about that. And I told them to come on up here and see what the great work you're working on. But they're going to take us as a template, so we're really excited about that.
That is amazing. I know the governor's office is using what we've worked on, what the departments worked on as a pilot program. So that, yeah, me, myself, and I. My whole staff is here right now. So thank you.
Michelle also helped with Mike Adams doing tortillas and at the breakfast too, so she knows how to cook breakfast too.
I do.
Thank you so much. We'll see you in a few minutes, hopefully.
Sure.
Later on. Does anyone have any final comments or questions? The work that the social services department is very integral. What's going on out in the community regarding unhoused, the unsheltered population, substance abuse, and so thank you, Michelle.
Subsection C is what they're going to talk about later.
Mi casita. Thank you.
I think it's fun. You're going to spend $53,000 to put into that building, and that building was a joint grant with the City of Espanola Chamber of Commerce. They purchased that building for $82,000 back in 1984. My Aunt Connie was mayor and Marlo Martinez was the chairman of the Chamber of Commerce. So I mean, you're spending almost half of what that building cost to erect 40 years ago. All right, items proposed for council consideration. Resolution 2024-53, a resolution accepting and approving the budget adjustment from Connect New Mexico Broadband Grant in the amount of $100,000 from the State of New Mexico Office of Broadband Access and Expansion, presented by Community Development Director, Mr. Michael Adams.
Good evening, Mayor, Councilor, CM. As you see before you, what we have right there is that grant that we're actually applying for broadband in that infrastructure and get done hopefully at the arts. What we're trying to do, something to help with the social service department, is maybe bringing like a telehealth into that area so people can come and actually use the telehealth. We'd have a telehealth area where they could come in and use for 2 or 3 people that have you talk to doctors in Albuquerque or whatever. So part of this money's gonna be used for that. What's nice about getting this money, it also extends us into being able to apply for more broadband. We're still waiting on the Fed money for $890,000. So that's still going through this process, which goes through all the flood zones and all the parameters as far as what we're trying to do, which is again, not using the broadband through lines to the ground, we're actually trying to go from point to point. So that's why that takes money. As long as we already have it installed in most buildings, so we'll be able to move forward. But that's that broadband. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask.
All right, guys, that's it. I'm out of here. That Carlo Martinez, the city clerk, was a bitch. I had to put her in her place with the attorney. She didn't want me to speak for public comment because I didn't fill out that paper. But I'm out of here, guys. The Mexican Free Pass is out. Deuces. Thank you guys for coming in. Thank you guys for hitting the like button. Appreciate every single one of you. Tomorrow, I'm gonna be doing a tour at the state capitol in Santa Fe. I have some investigation work to do over there. And then I have to stop at some other offices in Santa Fe, New Mexico. So I'll be spending all my time in Santa Fe, New Mexico tomorrow. I'll be going live, stuff like that. All right, guys, until the next time, deuces.